Hello everyone, I'm Gareth Master97 for you again today, and welcome to a Destiny 2 video. I know I don't really cover this game that often, and with Shadowkeep coming up, I felt like doing a little video about it today, mostly because there's an activity in Destiny 2 that you can do right now, a dungeon called the Shattered Throne. It comes about once every 3 weeks. So at the time of this recording, the next time you'll have the opportunity to play it would be the 17th of September, and I'm recording this the evening of the 8th of September, so unfortunately you won't be able to follow this straight away, but once the Shattered Throne comes around, you're welcome to experiment with what I'm going to be telling you. So what I'm going to demonstrate is how you can actually backtrack to the Thrallway after you've already completed that encounter. The one reason you might want to do this is if you're going for the Wish Ender exotic bow. One thing you need to do for that is to kill taken bosses that you spawn throughout the dungeon by using arc charges, and you basically cannot do the second boss after you've gone through the Thrallway. So it's a pain in the ass, it really is. If you stand outside the center circle, if you wipe, if you die, you know, anything that can happen that can fuck you over for getting Wish Ender, then you might want to follow this guide to demonstrate that you can actually go ahead and go back and redo the boss if you really want to. The one thing I would say, I've only tested this with a Titan character. I have absolutely no idea if you can do this as a Warlock or a Hunter. As I said earlier, you can experiment with this if you really want to. I'm doing this as a Titan because I know you can do it. So there are some prerequisites that you need as a Titan in order to do this. The first thing, which I would say is very important, is the Lion Rampant exotic leg armor. This basically allows you to do what we need to do. That's like one item that is going to be the most pain in the ass thing to get. But if you have Lion Rampant exotic legs, then all you need is a sword. Any sword. And you can exploit what we're going to be doing with the Titan jump ability Catapult Lift. And what this is going to do is essentially allow us to stay in the air indefinitely. And by that I mean, as long as you have heavy ammo, then you're going to be able to stay up in the air as long as you want to. So with Catapult Lift under your ability, with a sword, and with the Lion Rampant exotic legs, you can go ahead and do a exploit, I guess you can call it, called Titan Sword Flying. So what we want to do is load up the bridge checkpoint, which is pretty much exactly after the Thrallway. You want to head the opposite direction of the Thrallway towards the door where the taken captain boss that you're probably going to want to kill for Wish Ender is going to be, and you want to jump off to the Awoken statue on the left hand side. You can actually jump and land on the hands of the statue, and you want to jump off to the left and into the rocks. Now, a funny thing to note here is that there's actually the wall doesn't actually connect to the rocks, so you can actually go behind the wall at this area, but there is a big invisible barrier that just blocks you and prevents you from passing, so I would recommend not really going that far back. But by sprinting and jumping off the edge, you don't want to use all your catapult lift, by the way, so you just want to sort of jump, jump, swipe, jump, jump, swipe, something like that. And you can get a feel by watching the video about what you need to do. What I would say you might want, I'm going to be playing this a bit riskily, which means that when I do my jump towards the end after getting through the doorway, as you'll be seeing I'm coming towards, I'm going to be jumping up a bit more than I normally would to get some more vertical distance. It's a little bit risky and you might run out of catapult lift if you do it, so just be very careful, but if you make it and you do it, then you will end up going into the exit of the Thrallway, and you can proceed to backtrack through the Thrallway area with no shadow thrall whatsoever. So it's quite nice, to be honest. You can get one of the secret chests that exists in this location, and what we need to do if we're going for Wish Ender is you have to backtrack all the way through the ceiling rafters section, as I would like to call it, and get the first arc charge, which is very close to the beginning of the ceiling rafters encounter section, and take it towards the middle. There should be an awoken statue with its hands out, and you need to place the arc charge there, and that spawns the arc charge that appears in the Thrallway section, and then you can get the arc charge in the Thrallway section, take it out of this section towards the bridge where we would start, and then put it in the statue that exists off to the right as you exit the Thrallway, and as you should see, the door on the opposite side opens, and you can kill the captain boss, get a waking token, and essentially if you beat the ogre boss fight, then you can actually go ahead and get your Wishender exotic bow if that's what you're going for. Or if you're going for a completionist run of the Shattered Throne where you get all boss kills and all chests, then if you fail at the captain boss, then you can afford to do this method as a titan to go back and have a second shot at the boss. And this is what I had to do in order to beat the captain boss to get Wishender. So I should be kind of thankful that I'm a solo player and I didn't ask to play this with people, otherwise I never would have known to do this. As far as I know, I don't know if anyone else has actually discovered this method. You never know, it could be a first, it could be that it's done 1,000 times on YouTube already and I just don't know it. But I hope you found this helpful, and when Shattered Throne comes around, again, as I said, around September 17th, let me know in the comments below if you can do it as other characters and if you've had luck doing this. Again, the only reason I can think of to do this is because you're going for Wishender or you're doing a completionist run of the dungeon. So with all that being said and done, hopefully you found this helpful, and I will see you for whatever I decide to do after this. So thank you for watching, have a great day, peace out.